Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about temporal bone, and here at the side you can see the external surface and internal surface of temporal bone for the reference. So let's start our topic with introduction. Temporal bone is a complex, irregularly shaped bone located on the sides and base of skull. It houses structures that are vital for hearing and balance and also contribute to the formation of cranial vault and cranial base. Each human skull has two temporal bones, left bone and right bone, that are situated beneath the parietal bone. Location and articulations of temporal bone. They are found at the lateral sides of cranium. The temporal bone articulates with the several neighboring bones. First, it articulates with the parietal bone superiorly at squamosal suture. It articulates with the occipital bone posteriorly. It articulates with the sphenoid bone anteriorly and also articulates with the zygomatic bone anterolaterally. It also articulates with the mandible inferiorly at the temporomandibular joint. Anatomical division of temporal bone. Temporal bone comprises four major parts, each with distinct roles and landmarks. First, it has squamous part, second tympanic part, third it has mastoid part, and fourth part is petrous part. All of these parts you can appreciate here in the diagram: the squamous part, the petromastoid part, tympanic part, and mastoid part. Now let's talk about these parts one by one. First is squamous part. It forms the lateral wall of the skull. It is thin and flat and contains the zygomatic process which connects the zygomatic bone. As you can see here in diagram number 2, zygomatic process is part of squamous part of temporal bone. It includes the mandibular fossa for articulation with the mandible. Second part of the temporal bone is tympanic part. It encircles the external acoustic meatus. As you can see in diagram number 1, the green color part of the temporal bone is the tympanic part. It forms part of external ear and floor of the mandibular fossa. Third part of temporal bone is mastoid part. Most of the time petrous part and mastoid part are taken as one as petromastoid part, as you can see here in diagram, but the mastoid part is the anterior part or the part of the petromastoid that is towards the tympanic part is called as mastoid part. It contains the mastoid process, that is a prominent projection for muscle attachment. It includes mastoid ear cells which communicates with the middle ear and help regulate ear pressure. Next part is petrous part, that is the most robust part forming part of the cranial base. It houses the inner ear structures, cochlea, vestibule and semicircular canals. It contains the internal acoustic meatus for the passage of cranial nerve number 7 and cranial nerve number 8. Development and ossification of temporal bone. These temporal bones develop from multiple ossification centers through both membranous and cartilaginous ossification. These centers fuse during early childhood. Because of its complex structure, the temporal bone is one of the last skull bones to complete ossification. Functions of temporal bone. Temporal bone serves several critical functions. First, it protects the temporal lobe of brain. Second, it supports hearing and balance organs. Third, it forms part of temporomandibular joint for jaw movements. Fourth, it is attachment site for neck and facial muscles. Fifth, they transmit cranial nerves and major blood vessels. Clinical significance of temporal bone. First, temporal bone fracture that can affect hearing, balance, and facial movement or even cerebrospinal fluid flow. Second is mastoiditis that involves infection of mastoid ear cells. Third is cholecystoma, that is a destructive ear disease that may erode parts of temporal bone. Fourth is acoustic neuroma that may develop within the internal acoustic meatus affecting cranial nerve number 8. And this was all about temporal bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.